Well, good day, fellow cloud gurus. I'm back in the office after a busy few weeks learning about all the latest in Azure and spreading the good word from His Holiness Sam Kroonenberg. No, not really. But I have been around the globe at various events, and it is good to be back. Now, this week on the show, we have HDInsight Enterprise Security Package is now generally available. The Microsoft Graph data can now be analyzed using Azure Data Factory, and the public preview of Azure Database now supporting MariaDB. We will get to those products in just a second, but first I want to give a plug to my fellow Azure This Week host, Dean Bryan, and his new course, Introduction to Serverless on Azure, which you can watch right now on A Cloud Guru. Dean explains in his hands-on course the history, current state and advantages of serverless computing, the Azure services that can best be used to construct a serverless application, how to build a serverless Node.js API on Azure, and then of course tips, tricks and tools for developing, debugging and deploying Azure functions locally. This course is a great way to understand how a serverless architecture can be constructed on the Azure platform and is easy to follow and complete. Check it out today. Now you can create an HDInsight cluster with Enterprise Security Package, or ESP, that's joined to an Active Directory domain. You can then configure a list of employees from the enterprise who can authenticate through Azure Active Directory to log on to the HDInsight cluster. This will streamline the access guidelines for HDInsight users, and especially enterprise will benefit. Any HD policies you have will be valid and can be managed like any other HD process. The update includes a new UX as well to create the ESP clusters, which will make it much easier to use in the portal. And this will also help save a lot of time and fix errors up front before the user hits that create button. A small but significant part of this announcement is also that Apache Kafka users can bring their own key to use with Azure HDInsight. BYOK, amazing term, is currently in preview. Today, application developers use Microsoft Graph API to access Office 365 in a transactional way. This approach, however, is not efficient if you need to analyze large amount of Office data from a significant date range. Announced at Ignite 2 weeks ago, yet still has that new car smell, the public preview of Microsoft Graph data enables secure, governed, and scalable access of Office 365 data in Azure. It uses the Azure Data Factory, which is a managed data integration service that allows you to bring together diverse data sources. By marrying Office 365 data and Azure, Office 365 data can be available in Azure, and developers can harness the full power of Azure to build highly scalable and secure applications against the combination of Office 365 data and other business data, all within a single place in Azure. Very powerful stuff. MariaDB is a community-developed fork of the MySQL relational database management system. Due to concerns over Oracle's acquisition of MySQL, some of the core developers of the loved community database, MariaDB, was born. This service features open source compatibility, built-in high availability, dynamic scaling, and flexible pricing. Customers can lift and shift, love the buzzwords, to the cloud and use languages and frameworks of their choice, leveraging the power of MariaDB running on Azure. The Azure Database for MariaDB is now in public preview. That is it for this episode of Azure This Week. To recap the news from this episode, HDInsight Enterprise Security Package is now generally available. The Microsoft Graph data can now be analyzed using Azure Data Factory. And the Azure Database for MariaDB is now in public preview. See you next week for more delicious Azure news and goodness. Keep being awesome, Cloud Gurus.